नमस्ते। कैसे हैं आप लोग? आज आज मैं ऐसे लोगों को अपने चैनल पे बुला रहा हूँ who are the followers of the beautiful game and specifically Indian football. In today's episode, we dive deep into the legacy and spirit of Indian football, starting with a name that echoes across generations, Mohun Bagan. This is not just a story about a club, it's about the dreams of millions, the passion that unites us, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Today, we celebrate the heart of Indian football where grit, determination, and an unbreakable spirit meets the love for the game. Whether you are a seasoned fan or just discovering the beautiful game, join me as we relive the moments that made Mohun Bagan legends and look forward to a future where Indian football rises to new heights. So let's go and meet our new guests. Hello, guys. How are you guys doing? Welcome to my new podcast. Yes, this is the newest version, and today we are going towards a very different domain, towards sports. As you guys know that I wanted to make videos and podcasts and bring you guests from various fields. This time I'm bringing you not one, not two, but three very special people who are a part of, I will say, passion, I will say motivation, I will say life, I will say honesty, I will say love for a particular entity, but through that entity, love towards our own nation, India. So today I'm bringing a podcast on Indian football and Mohun Bagan, who actually envisage our Indian football in the best way possible. So bringing in our three very special guests, Debarshi, Shayak, and Samannay. How are you guys doing?
Hi, hi, hi. We are doing great, I think. From my side, yeah, I'm doing great.
Nice,
So,
nice. So
with
yeah,
yeah, so it's definitely been a good day in the aftermath of the match yesterday that we won, and yeah, so, it's nice to see the other people on this podcast. Nice.
thank you guys.
Yes,
Thank you for yeah.
yeah. Pretty happy to be here. Slow weekend, I would say. It's nighttime for me. It's daytime for you. So yeah, I think it's
Absolutely.
it's a happy weekend. Good to have everyone. Such a beautiful panel, and thank you for the kind adjectives that you have used. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you guys. So like just before we begin, मैं आप सबको बोलना चाहता हूँ कि आप सबका प्यार मेरे मेरे चैनल के लिए, मैं उसके लिए आपको थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूँ कि 6 हफ्तों में सब्सक्राइबर काउंट 850 के पार हो गया है. तो रियली थैंक यू एंड आई एम श्योर दैट कि आपको आज का पॉडकास्ट बहुत पसंद आएगा बिकॉज ये सिर्फ हमारे फुटबॉल के लिए नहीं है, फुटबॉल हमारे देश के लिए भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. और इसीलिए मैं आज आपको फुटबॉल रिलेटेड लोगों को आपसे मिलवाना चाहता था. So let's begin, guys. So before I begin, I will just give you guys a brief introduction about all my guests. So beginning with Debarshi. Debarshi is a specialized retail market uh, professional. He's a ardent Mohun Bagan fan by birth. Mostly he is in corporate cricket, but yes, he supports Mohun Bagan, as you guys can all see with his shirt and then the flag. Uh, as I said, it's a passion. It's a passion. Mohun Bagan is not only for a club or a city, but it's for India. हमारे दूसरे गेस्ट समन्वय सेन, he is young, he's very young, but then this guy is a journalist. This guy is a journalist, and then he actually follows football people follow cricket. क्रिकेट को फॉलो करना बहुत ही आसान होता है, बट हमारे देश में एक दूसरे स्पोर्ट को फॉलो करना और जैसा ये बंदा करता है, it's very difficult. So Samannay Sen is a football enthusiast and also a journalist right now. He works with Khel Now. I think if you guys just search, Khel Now is one of the most upcoming and one of the best known football journalism platforms back in India. And he's a part of it. I think you will be seeing him more in future. He's looking at football from his own view, and I think Cristiano Ronaldo is his best footballer, right?
Yeah, right.
भाई मेरा तो मेसी है भाई, sorry. and then and then our third guest, he's a very special person to me personally also. Shayak Ghosh. He's a learning and development professional right now. He has been with Mohun Bagan, I will say, from his birth. I think his father was a very ardent Mohun Bagan supporter, and I have heard a lot of stories about him from Shayak. And I know that Shayak, whenever he talks about Mohun Bagan and Indian football, he talks from his heart. And his favorite club other than Mohun Bagan is Arsenal FC, the Gunners. And I'm very sorry again because my favorite club is Chelsea. Perfect. Okay. चलो तो शांत है ये. चलो कोई नहीं. तो अभी बताओ.
No, let it go. Like, well, Chelsea's first team players don't know their 13 players. You guys buy in 50 players, and I don't know what you're still doing.
चलो ठीक है, कोई नहीं. तो guys, the first question is from all three of you. How did your fandom for Mohun Bagan begin? So basically, we can start with Samannay.
Sure. So my, again, coming from, as you said, like Shayak's father was an ardent football fan. Same in my family as well. My grandfather as well as my father, both were and are ardent football fans. Not only football fans, but again coming in that Mohun Bagan fans. So my grandfather, he was a kind of athlete. He was not a proper footballer, but then he was again into football, and he used to narrate me stories of Mohun Bagan and all those players which I have never watched them play, but I have listened to all those stories. And then one day, suddenly, when I was, I think, around class 6 or 7, so it was a derby, East Bengal versus Mohun Bagan. The match was happening, and my father and grandfather were sitting, they were watching the match. I was mostly coming back from my tuition, and I was seeing the excitement in both of their faces, and they were so keen explaining to one another. It was like kind of, this player is doing great, this player is that, and then I also sat down with them, and I also started watching the game. So at the beginning, I couldn't understand much because I was not aware of everything. But then that day, suddenly I got interest in football from that day. And again, coming back to my father, he was a professional player by himself, and he also played for many clubs, and he played for Calcutta Customs, I think, for 1 or 2 years in Kolkata. But then again, like, he got the opportunity to play for sale, as well as he got the offer of from the sale company to work as well. So he like came back to Durgapur and he settled there. So after that, he's my kind of inspiration, you can say, to football, because all the support that comes from football is from my father. And again, then gradually moving on, I started following Mohun Bagan and all the posts, then coming to football slowly. Firstly, I was not that much into Indian football. I was into foreign football, like basically world football, Real Madrid, Manchester United. But then again, like gradually, once I had that kind of interest in Mohun Bagan, then I started following Indian football. And then gradually the journey went along in that way. And then again, coming to like Rupamda was one of my seniors. So he introduced me with Shayokda. So then I got added in the Mohun Bagan group, and I think while I got added in that group, the interest and the eagerness of me to know more about Mohun Bagan started from that day, and now I'm sitting with all like three of you together.
Nice, nice, very nice. Uh, so basically, so my next question, or my like I want to ask the next comment from Deborshi. Deborshi, the question is the same, but then I would like to add to it that why is Mohun Bagan passion? Why is that?
Um, so Mohun Bagan passion, if I start talking about that, before that I should talk about why football, because you know that our country is a cricket dominated country. So why football? Football, if you see Indian history, football is mostly dominated in Bengal. If you look at the history, all the bigger players previously were from Bengal, and then you can go to Goa, and then from Punjab, and then few from Kerala. If you have heard about Habib Akbar, they were from Hyderabad. So basically, that is how it started, and it's a hereditary thing that comes back to you. It's like your father is getting excited about something, heavy excitement. Of course, about cricket also. Like I love all sport, no hate towards anything about cricket, about football, about hockey. But when this particular badge was there, I saw my father was completely losing it. When I was very young. If India loses, it's fine. He is just sad. India lost, like in cricket. But when that badge is playing, there is a thing that you see from your father, and then you start to learn about your family. Why is my father behaving like that? And it's very normal that you learn the behavior from your mom, dad. That is when you start learning. So when you
Yeah.
start speaking, probably you don't know what you're speaking, but you know how to pronounce Mohun Bagan and Joy Mohun Bagan. I think that denotes why I am a Mohun Bagan fan.
Nice.
That is number one. And number two is, why should I support a different club in Kolkata? While I have the heredity, I have the passion to support the greatest football club in India. So that's it. So as I grew, it was clear which is the greatest football club in India, based on I'm just speaking on facts at this point, based on trophies, based on national success. That we have everything. So why not? And also, why football? Again, to answer that, as Bill Shankly mentioned, some people think that football is a game of life and death. I'm sure it's beyond that. So it's like that. Football gives the joy, the passion. There are already lots of things, lots of hardships in your life. You go through everything. You, me, Shayak Das, Samannay, everyone has their thing. Some people choose entertainment to stay out of that. I choose football in that sense, and then football, and then Mohun Bagan, and that's how life is.
Now, guys, that is passion, right? Shayuk, same question, but with that, I want you to answer. Why is Mohun Bagan synonymous with India's pride? और मैं ये वाला सवाल इसीलिए पूछ रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं ये भी चाहता हूँ कि हमारे हमारे जो व्यूअर्स हैं वो ये पहचाने कि मोहन बागान एक क्लब नहीं है बट मोहन बागान भारत भारत के लिए है तो प्लीज इफ यू कैन probably say a few words on that.
First, before thanks, Pawandeep, thanks for getting me on this panel and giving me the chance to speak. मैं तुम्हारे सभी दर्शकों को मेरा सलाम और मेरा प्रणाम देना चाहता हूँ ताकि तुम्हारा चैनल और बढ़े और वो भी अच्छे कंटेंट देखे जो तुम परिवेशन कर रहे हो. Right, buddy. So that's being done. I actually want to inform you that the question you said that why should I equate Mohun Bagan to India's pride? Like I actually wrote it down because I will forget after I am done telling you the points of what made me support Mohun Bagan or why I'm still supporting Mohun Bagan. So I'll tell a few things, and I don't know how many points it will just maybe increase or decrease on the way. So first point was
आराम से बताओ
1997 Federation Cup semi-final, I guess it was. So as you know, Mohun Bagan is the national club of India, the best at the best of the best, as Debarshi pointed out. So every every big club in any country, in any football, every big club also has a club trying to hog its glory, but never going up to it. So we also have an opponent like that, like AC Milan has Inter as well, like Manchester has United and City, like so many others. Look, I'm an Arsenal fan, this Arsenal Tottenham Hotspur rivalry. So our city rivals, East Bengal, okay. So they thrashed us badly. I guess the score was 4-1. Red Cup semi-final 97, wherein our then coach Amal Datta had introduced a system called diamond system in the football formation, 3-2-3-2, shaped like a polygon. If I, correct me if I'm wrong, okay. Uh, that from so I wearing Mohun Bagan colors and we like dying or like surviving in the frenzy of Mohun Bagan. I used to be somebody who associated himself with the Red and Gold Brigade. The reason being
Oh,
is,
really?
yeah, the reason being is, in those days there was no Facebook for the first thing. There was no such media thing going on. Like we couldn't access the internet and know the news around the world so easily. Those days were the news of the newspapers. You were there, right? So what happened was, in those days, the only Indian footballer that I knew, and this is has a direct link to what we are going to discuss later in the podcast about Indian football. So the only footballer I knew at that point of time was Baichung Bhutia, the talismanic forward. There was another guy called Soso Saija. I don't remember which position he played in, but he used to jump and celebrate with Baichung when he scored a goal. So I had come back, so the match has ended. Another hour later, we are back home. And this is where the passion begins. So I see my father. So in a nutshell, my father was he was in the army. Then he was a corporate person for many years until he died in 48. You know all that. So, and he was a as we say in Hindi or Indian lingo, pagla. So he was a pagla Mohun Bagan supporter, much more than me at that one point of time. So I saw him sitting him down on a stool or on a chair in the corner of the room and crying like hell, crying profusely. And I went up to him and asked, "Jay, like, why are you crying? Up, ro kyun rahe ho?" So he answered that you won't understand. I'm crying because Mohun Bagan deserved not to lose this match. We lost. It's all ends now. So that was the first time I had the understanding that a grown-up individual, an adult, who normally is shouldering all the responsibilities in life with a smiling face, breaks down completely when his favorite team loses. And that's when the importance of any club, for that matter, in football or the love for football, that dawned on me. Jumping many years later, I guess in 2012, I had gone, so Mohun Bagan at that point of time were fighting relegation
Hmm.
because they had been docked points after a disciplinary issue. So I do remember this that one of my friends, sadly, he's no more. That was the first. So I had gone to matches in the Salt Lake Stadium regularly before that, but I had never been to the Mohun Bagan club premises at the Calcutta Maidan. Uh, this friend of mine, only one Nondi, whom we affectionately used to call Annie, he died, I guess, a year back or 2 years back. One of my greatest friends at one point of time. So, and I will obviously pray to God to for his soul to rest in peace. But then again, so he took me to the Mohun Bagan Club for the first time. That's one. Number two. And you know what I discovered out there, Pavandi? I discovered freedom. Till this day, whenever I'm having a mood swing, I'm having a temperamental mood off, I'm done doing a thing. I face some serious humiliation in office or in workplace or places where I can be hurt, when a person can be hurt. And then I have come back to Mohun Bagan ground, have taken my seats in the gallery, have been bathed in the wonderful strong wind current coming in from the Ganges nearby, and I have gorged on the wonderful and succulent dishes served at the Mohun Bagan canteen. Someone obviously knows of
Oh
this.
yes.
And
Oh yes,
since,
yes, yes. Of
yes,
course.
the chicken soup and
So
bread.
so why do we associate या तो हम क्यों मोहन बागान को भारत के साथ जोड़ते हैं? Because Mohun Bagan is just a club. There are thousands of clubs in India. Why
Mhm.
only Mohun Bagan for the Indian flag? Does it relate to that 1910 or 1911 match that we had with the foreigners, the Britishers? Like the Mohun Bagan team was playing barefooted while they beat them. It's from there or what?
Okay, so there are several anecdotes to pointing to this fact that the Mohun Bagan is indeed the nation's pride. One of the first anecdotes that I would like to point out is, so why was Mohun Bagan formed in the first place? It was formed in I guess, Mohun Villa, right? Ibumba, right, Debarshi? It was a Mohun Villa, Mitrabadi. So, like the house of the Mitras. So, thing is pretty simple. So, when Mohun Bagan was formed, it was formed so that India or Indian people or the locals, the indigenous, can have some participation on the field against the Britishers.
Hmm.
One of my words, there was a club which was formed before Mohun Bagan. Mohun Bagan was formed in 1889. There was another club in 1885, a Jubilee Club, another club was formed. Today, the same club is known as Mohammedan Sporting.
Mm-hmm.
However, since the names were different, obviously the forward didn't carry through. Then comes 1911, the one that you were talking about, Pawandeep, when we are in our teams, led by the talismanic Shivdas Paduri and by the most prolific goal scorer of all times, I guess. He was termed as the Black Devil by the. He was given this term. Black Devil was coined to describe him by the Britishers. Ovilash Ghosh. They scored 1 8 and we won the IFA Shield for the first time in 1911, defeating East Yorkshire Regiment. Come back from 1911 to 30. Okay, jump another 36 years. 1947, the year that we earned our independence. That was the second time. So in 1911, a promise was made that the year India will get independence, Mohun Bagan will win the shield for the second time. And exactly that happened. We won in 47.
It's the other way around, basically. So it was said that someone, I think, asked our captain, like the legend. It's a legend, basically. Someone asked that when will, so basically we won this time. When will we will remove that flag?
The Union Jack. When will the Union
That's
Jack?
the Union Jack flag. When will we remove that? So I think the captain or maybe someone from the team replied that when we win the IFA Shield once again, yeah, when we win the IFA Shield once again, then that year we will get the independence. Coincidentally, we won the IFA Shield in 1947, I think
What
in
is
July or June in 1947, and in 1947, 15th August, we got our independence. So yeah, that is how I think nationality, if I would say, that's a thing.
Nice, guys.
And
Yeah,
then
it goes
one more
very
thing
deep.
I would like to point out.
Yeah, please.
Just a minute.
Please.
So, apart from that, after Indian independence, today there are 100 clubs in India. You have got Mumbai City FC. You have got really good, big clubs. At least who spend big, don't care of the results like Kerala Blasters and all. But thing is, no, I'm not going to mention what you thought of. They're in the 13th position and they should remain there. That's their position. They deserve it. So, yeah, talking like a true fanboy. So, thing is, Mohun Bagan, Mohammedan Sporting, you have got, there were a few other clubs like State Bank of Travancore, SBT. It used to play. The HAL team, the same not distributed. See you did a podcast on HAL a couple of weeks back, right? So, yeah, the HAL football team. There was Kerala Police. There was the Jagatjit Cotton and Textile Mills, JCT from Punjab, Phagwara. So, all those teams, they contributed a lot to the growth of Indian football. That's why India was such a power back in the 60s and 70s. And what Mohun Bagan did, every time India needed money to get, rather funds, not money, Indian government needed funds for a flood, to attend to a flood. fell into a drought. The team which was always there to participate on behalf of the Indian government to raise money was Mohun Bagan. And every
Hmm.
single time we gave a run for the tickets. Every single time. 1983 World Cup when we won, that we won. Uh, Truth be told, for the preparatory stage, the BCCI had actually taken some of the funds generated through a charity match of Mohun Bagan
Oh, wow.
before the World
Good.
Cup.
Oh,
That's something,
pretty,
right? You know, I understand.
pretty
That
deep.
is why Mohun Bagan is India's pride.
Pretty deep. Yep, pretty deep. So, moving on to the next question, Samannay. Uh, as you are a journalist and you meet players, right? What I also have seen in the past, at least pre 2019, is that whenever I used to visit the Mohun Bagan Stadium, I always rued the fact that why aren't the stands becoming better? Why isn't the Mohun Bagan training ground becoming better? I'm sure that people, the supporters that Mohun Bagan have all over the world, they can chip in with the money and funds also if the Mohun Bagan club lacks in the funds. Is there any change yet? And if not, what changes you as a journalist and you as a Mohun Bagan supporter want? Because I am saying this because my next questions will be based on this. The fact that we want our nation's club to win the Asian Champions League at the basically in the near future, 5 years, 10 years, but
Right.
we do want to go there. So to get there, how can we make our own training facilities better?
Yeah, so yeah, if you can, if I say then now, particularly the Salt Lake Stadium has been totally renovated, where Mohun Bagan plays their matches. So it's all bucket seats, and the facilities are fantastic right now. Even Shayak will be able to more like better way say the Mohun Bagan club, because I have visited less times. But what I saw recently, Mohun Bagan club has also been renovated very nicely. The pitch is uh, excellent right now. I think hockey league also happens there, and many other events as well happen there. And currently, if you say, it's fantastic. I think the atmosphere, the floodlights have also been installed. There were CFL games, there were I League games, I think also on that pitch. And that thing which you mentioned, that yeah, there are certain supporters who always are ready to help for the club. I personally know some people that they have fund, they give funding to the club. And I think right now
Okay.
the situation in the club is they have I think like they have a good amount of money, and I think they are doing well. And if you tell me to suggest what I feel right now, that maybe in the case may, which I have also suggested when I was studying sports management, that maybe if they can do fan interactions more, like in European clubs it happens, like the players, they generally talk they host talk shows, and one or two key players, they sit and answer to a group of people over there, and then there's a personal one-to-one connect between the players and the audience. So right now that doesn't happen much here. It's only the journalists who have the privilege to talk with the players. So I think in that way, if they can organize these kind of things like player interactions, or maybe uh, obviously practices happens, open door practices happens, where players where audience go and they watch the match, but then again, like, it's very limited time they get to interact with the players. But this is a suggestion from my side, maybe, like, if they get time, or if they can make time, if it is possible, then bring in like 2 3 players, such as Dimitri Petratos right now is a very key player for Mohun Bagan, and fans love him. So always fans are very excited to meet him, talk to him, take selfies. So maybe organize a kind of short talk show, or maybe not even a talk show, maybe kind of just a fan interaction kind of thing, where maybe the members who are the members of Mohun Bagan fan club, they come in, and they just share, exchange some, or maybe they can do one more thing. They can book one particular venue or do a small gathering, just a dinner kind of thing, like Mohammedan Club did recently. They allowed in the beginning of the season, as they were starting ISL this time, so they invited certain journalists, and they invited also some routine fans, or some members. So it was a kind of get together. All went there, they exchanged photographs and these things. So I think this will be one of my suggestions. Other than that, which you said, like currently, what I know, the infrastructure in Kolkata, Yuvarti Kirangan is one of the best stadium in India, no doubt about that. Both Mohun Bagan Club and East Bengal Club share the venue, and facilities there are fantastic. Media tribune, I have no complaints. Everything, internet connection, everything is fine. They have installed two TVs right now, so if you even miss like what happens in the pitch, you can grab it in the TV. So the replays are there. There is proper amenities, everything is there. And even Yuvarti Kirangan, I think, has 3 to 4 practice pitches as well, so players train there, and there are multiple facilities. So facilities, if you say, it's kind of, I think it's great for India, and it's great for Kolkata right now.
Okay.
This is just thoughts on Kolkata. Other venues I'm not sure about, which I have not traveled
Okay.
much. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. Uh, Moving on. So my next question is that how can we find good youngsters? Because if I say good youngsters, we might be getting them. We are seeing clubs like Bayern Munich coming in, chipping in, trying to scout young players, Indian players. So how can Mohun Bagan take in those best talents and then take their club? So basically, I'm trying to compare with the Barcelona model.
Right.
Like they have their own school.
La
How can
Masia, yeah.
Mohun Bagan have their own school
See,
in a way
again,
that
coming to this
yeah.
question, yeah, you can complete, yeah.
So basically, if Mohun Bagan has their own school, of course, not at that scale, but Mohun Bagan, if they start to build their own school, they can actually bring in all the best talents from India, rather than them going to the outer clubs at that young age. So how can they do that?
Yeah,
I think
so
I
coming to
can
that point,
take on that
there
question.
was
Uh,
Mohun Bagan Sale Academy, which was in my
Devarshi,
hometown.
yeah,
Sharon, I'll take on that
if you
question.
can, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take on that question. Why? Because so recently I saw Gurpreet Singh Sandhu was doing a podcast. I think it was with Ranveer on the Ranveer show. So it was interesting podcast. So the point that I wanted to make. So Ranveer asked why. Let's not go to European football. They are like light years ahead of us. Okay. Ranveer asked why, like countries like Japan, South Korea, Saudi Arab, maybe Iran, their footballing, why they're so much superior to us? Because at some point we were Asian champions. We lost to France, I think, in 1950 by 2 goals to 1. So
2-1, yeah.
we were fighting with the giants of football, basically. So what happened suddenly that everything collapsed? So Gurpreet made an answer. So I think he was speaking to someone from Indian football again who went to Japan to see things. So someone asked a person from Japanese football that how do you think, like how do you plan ahead, what you are going to do? So in 1970s, they have made a plan that they want to play regular World Cup football, and they achieved that status from 2002 onwards.
Okay.
And then 2002 onwards, they have made a plan for the next 30 to 40 years. How can we win the World Cup and be consistent performer in the World Cup? So now you see they are in quarterfinals. They are just losing out. We saw last year, I think they were leading with Belgium 2 goals to 0, and then they lost 3-2. This year also they qualified, but they lost. But they are beating big names. For example, South Korea defeated Germany. Japan defeated Germany. So Germany is a huge name in World Cup football. So the thought process starts from day one, and they visualize the next 40 years. And there is a plan for each year, each month, each day, what they need to achieve. So that is how you make a club big, make a country big. And that starts from the grassroots level. The
So
question that you have
then,
asked. Yeah,
so
yeah.
then, what are we lacking? Because though we know about all of these things, I
Mhm.
think, and then yes, of course, Mohun Bagan, the people who are there, right?
Yeah,
Even they know about all of these things. But
yeah,
how do we actually implement it?
yeah. So coming to that point, basically, it all starts at grassroots level. You should start the entire process, start your scouting from maybe that this 5-year old would be a future football prospect. When a person is 15, 16, 17-year-old, and then you're scouting that person, and then you're trying to make him into a world-class player, it's not going to happen. Because if you look at European models, if you look at Japan models, they're scouting the player when they're 5 years old, 6 years old. When they're 13 years old, they're the basics of football, passing, first touch, running, stamina. They are already at the peak level. It's just on the skill that they're developing. We as Mohun Bagan or Indian football, no one is doing that, and it's lacking at the ground level. That can be lack of proper infrastructure, that can be lack of uh, people who wants to invest. We don't have any form of investment. We're looking at short-term success. Today, if we look at Mohun Bagan, we have good sponsor, we have top-notch players, all the best players from India plays here. But if we look at our youth structure, let's not look at the youth team right away. So there are players who are 17, 18, 19. That's a decent set of players who can be like good players as of today. But are they world class players who can fit into probably a Manchester United or maybe in an Arsenal squad? Can they do that? No, it's impossible. We are seeing bunch of players going to Bayern Munich to do some trial. They're just coming back. Are they learning anything? No. That's just a foreign exchange kind of a thing that is happening. Nothing
Hmm.
extra beyond that. It's like superstars like Gurpreet Singh Sandhu who almost got a chance to play in Premier League. Superhuman players like Sunil Chetri who played in US football, who played in I think Sporting CP in Portugal. So I
Portable, yeah.
unless you're like heavily talented, like maybe 1 in 1,000 crores, it's not possible to be someone in Indian football. It has to start from the very, very, very basic level. And as you have mentioned, there should be schools, there should be proper infrastructure, so that if a child at 5 years old start playing football and at 15 he realizes that football is not his thing. He has other directions because he also studied. He has different career paths to choose from. But sadly, we don't have anything like that. And that is where we are lacking. So if we start this today, maybe in next 50 years, as India or maybe as Mohun Bagan, we can create world-class players. It cannot happen like that. You can like snap your fingers and it
Absolutely.
happens. It's never going to happen like that. And
Absolutely.
infrastructure, that's it. And the vision infrastructure, that's what we are losing on.
Absolutely. So, Shayok, uh, I used to see, even now, like last year, I was there, right? India. I, when I was traveling, in the village areas, rather than cricket, the young boys and even girls play football still. Football is the number one sport because you just need one ball to play that sport. You don't need a lot of money, at least at that level. Uh, my question is that from where will we get the next Sunil Chetri? Where will we get the next Baichung Bhutia? Leave them. Where will we get the next player who can score us 50 goals for India and 200 goals or 500 goals for Mohun Bagan during their playing career?
Okay. So you're referring to the current situation, or you're referring to on a whole, like from where we could get a player, or if we can get a
So
band of players who can
both
represent the
actually.
country?
So both basically. Right now, we have lost one of our, or probably the greatest striker. or the greatest player, or one of the greatest players that we had, Sunil Chhetri. So there is a vacuum. India requires a player who can at least score goals, number one. Number two, from those youngsters who are there in the villages, how can a proper scouting be done by these clubs, not only Mohun Bagan, but all the ISL or the states, so that they can, probably all the clubs together can make a school like La Masia, and then they can just bring all these youngsters there because they are from villages. They can give them scholarships, they can give them proper schooling, and with that they will give them at least 4 to 5 hours of daily training. I think that at least we have that much money, right?
Okay, so answering your question, lot of them in fact. So first and foremost, in the current crop. So tell me, Pawandeep, and I will ask the others. I will share this question with others too in this panel. When was the last time you saw Sunil Chhetri playing for India or for Bengaluru FC in this season lesser than 70 minutes?
Lesser than 70 minutes or greater than 70?
Yes, lesser than 70 minutes.
I
Maybe
think
very
not in
rarely,
the
I think.
previous match, but recently in
Very
one of the
early.
matches. Recently in one of the
So,
matches, less than 70 minutes in the entire game, you were saying.
yes,
Yeah, recently in one of the matches, he just came as a sub on the 70th or
67th minute,
72nd
67th,
minute,
67th minute.
67th, yeah, 68-minute match. So I think
Very,
that was
very
one of the
recent
Apart,
times, basically. To answer
very
that.
early.
Very
So, see, this answers your question. It's not that we didn't have strikers who could have been tried against smaller teams. We have coaches who have used an utopian way of showing us an utopian truth, a truth which does not come into the real world. As Sam is already smiling. Uh, so he knows. Stephen Constantine, I'm not going to question his coaching degrees or coaching prowess on the internet right now, but Igor Stephen Constantine, all these people, like, I don't know, people they used only to recruit from the scout people from the Indian Super League and not from the I League, which used to be the first tier for so many years. Hardly any people were raised from the Santosh Trophy, the premier all-state tournament in India. And what we ended up is Intercontinental Cup. We are using Sunil Chhetri for 90 minutes so that he can score and get us a win against a country like Vanuatu and Guam, whose ranks are much lesser than us in the football ranking. So the strikers that we have now at our disposal at this point in time, as per my knowledge, these two may add a few more. Is One is Rahul KP is there. Uh, Rahul KP is there. Then we have our very own Manveer Singh. However, Manveer has excelled in playing as a right PD or a left medium role in the past few years for Mohun Bagan. So he ideally should be used in that role rather than a full-fledged full-on striker. We do have the young Yan Nasiri Diri. He's a Mohun Bagan product, outer Mohun Bagan Academy product. Uh, but no, I guess he used to play for CFC before that, Yan Nasiri. But anyway, so he's a junior product who has come up the ranks. We have got several other strikers in several other teams like BNP and stuff. Thing is, how many of them actually got the chance to play up front? I do remember the likes of Abhishek Jadhav, who was given, he used to play for Mahindra and Mahindra back in the day. He was given n number of chances beside Baichu to excel, along with Sunil Chhetri. Sushil Singh was also another striker. Uh, I'm sorry, I guess that was technical fault. So, thing is, honestly speaking, we had wonderful people being given a chance in the past. Indian coaches did that. They may not have those fanciful AFC and Euro Pro licenses, but they understood what's good for the team. Now, I don't know what is the selection criteria for the national team because I don't know why the likes of Kibi Vikuna doesn't get a chance to coach the international team when he did absolute magic with Mohun Bagan a few years back. I don't know why Antonio Lopez Habas is never given a chance. Why Antonio Lopez Habas is never given a chance. I don't know that, but
Shraddha, I'll stop you. So a question to you because you're senior here. After
mhm,
after Dipendu Vishwas in Bengal football and in Indian football, Dipendu Vishwas was an out and out number 9, as I know.
mhm.
And then I have seen Sunil Chhetri. In between, you can take names. None of them are out and out striker. And today also, I cannot give one name who can be a number 9 for Indian squad. And I feel the
Absolutely.
biggest problem is that if you look at ISL, we have 4 foreigners, and the core backbone, like either 2 center backs, 1 midfield, 1 forward, or maybe one center back, 2 midfields, 1 forward. The backbone is controlled by foreigners. So no number 10 role or no number 9 role can be created in Indian football. Don't you think that's the biggest problem?
Yep.
Well, coming to that, so this season, we Mohun Bagan fans will obviously know. So this season, we sold off Carl McHugh and we put our hopes on the Indian midfield, all Indian midfield, right? We have got Apuya, who had a great match yesterday. We have our favorite player, Anirudh Thapa. We have Sahal Abdul Samad. We have Deepak Tangri, and we have Glenn Martins. Yeah. So thing is, yeah, right. So thing is, uh, we do have an Indian midfield whom we are basing our hopes on. However, if you actually see, we didn't have any point of cohesion until Greg Stewart arrived to steer the midfield. Now, the reason why we use people, foreigners in key positions is because we don't have we cannot substitute them. We do not have the talent pool or the basically the adequacy of an Indian player to be equated or to be substituted with a foreigner right at this moment. In order to do that, so and coming back to where I was originally, uh, thing is, as of this moment, India has to languish at the bottom for at least 6 to 7 more years, I guess.
Mhm.
Reliance has started a football school in Mumbai, it still is in operation, hosted
Mhm.
by once best host Jose Ramirez Barreta at one point of time. So thing is, he was a Mohun legend, so that's why he was name. And so Reliance School was there. Mohun Bagan had its own football school in Durgapur, I guess. Mohun
Hmm.
Bagan Self Football Academy,
Yeah, that
right?
was I was telling that only like Munbagan Sail Football Academy was in Durgapur, and it was a good project. It was going on well, but I think due to some problems, I think regarding the land, which was becoming one issue because there is a Nehru Stadium in Durgapur. That again, like politics was one of the, I think, I don't know, but some political issue was happening at that time, and the ground was particularly being the issue, and then they dismissed the academy, but it was a great academy. It was doing good, and many, even Deepak Tangri, who plays in right now, who is playing for Monbagan, came up from Durgapur, that particular Sale Academy. There were 2 3 more players who came up. I think one more player was Shankar Orao. He was a Sale Academy product, and many others were there. But then again, it suddenly stopped. And but that was actually kind of not comparing with La Masia again, but again that was a kind of good. It was a school. The players used to go to school. They used to do the schooling there. They used to play as well, and it was a good culture over there. And then that young players were also getting chance in the senior team. But
Okay.
once it was shut, I think after that they didn't try to bring in anywhere around West Bengal. I think no
Pavandeep,
schools were
I have,
produced. I think.
yes,
Pavandeep,
yes, Shayak.
uh, you know the difference of Indian football with Indian cricket. The main difference. Indian cricket has IPL. Indian football has ISL. But the difference lies here in apart from or in addition to IPL, Indian national team is a very revered, very powerful side. Yeah, for the 46, like those things happen once or twice. But Indian cricket is very powerful, right? Multiple time World Cup winner. It has one of the strongest and deadliest squads in the world cricket.
Yep.
You don't have that in football.
But then, guys, if you try to compare hockey, okay,
Mhm.
Indian Indian hockey has probably achieved the most of any nation in the world, right? 8 golds
Mhm.
in the Olympics, several
Mhm.
bronze medals, right?
Mhm.
Hockey as a sport in 2004 Athens Olympics, I think India finished 11th or 12th.
Mhm.
2008 India didn't even qualify, I think.
Mhm.
And after that, but we are seeing the growth, and then Indian
The
hockey is
re-emergence, yes.
back. India just won back-to-back bronze medals in the Olympics, which is very hard to do because in the last Olympics, the teams who won gold and silver, they didn't finish on the podium this time. So India was the only team who finished consecutive Olympics on the podium. So we can actually compare hockey and football in India.
We cannot.
I
We
think.
cannot. Of course. Bro, there's a problem. In hockey, there's intent.
Mhm.
In
Absolutely.
football, there's no intent.
Yeah,
Okay, so
correct.
at this point in time, if you look at the Indian football scenario, so
Mhm.
Mohun Bagan Super Giants, they were supposed to play a Asian Champions League 2 against FC Tractor from Iran. We
Yes.
opted out of going there because of the situation when Iran escalated against
Yeah.
Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so
a
I
war
guess there
going
is
on.
going on from within between Istiklal and FC Persepolis, and from there they actually it was in the same city of Tabriz, and they actually saw 400 rockets being fired, and they crossed from out of
Absolutely.
the stadium. They could see that.
Absolutely.
So Mohun Bagan, naturally, any sane person
Absolutely.
they would opt out of this. They did that. What happened as a reaction was AFC disqualifying Mohun Bagan from playing the ACL 2 this time.
I know that, and my next question was on that only, actually.
Yeah, but let me finish.
So,
So,
yep,
okay, but
go on.
so thing is, India or AIFF doesn't have a clue about what's going on. You know what AIFF is in news for? It is in news for an interim order which has been passed by Kalyan Chobe in disobedience of the Indian Olympic Association chairman PT Usha.
Hmm.
This is what's going on in the Indian football capital right now. It is not being on why we don't have a good striker up front right now in Indian football national team. It's not about how we are going to fare in the upcoming tournaments. It's not about India's participation like in the ACL through Mohun Bagan. No, it's not there. The intent is not there at all. Even worse,
Actually, if you
even
see, yeah,
postponed the dates of the I League this year.
yes,
Of the
correct,
women's ISL, we don't know when they will be happening in Kalyani or any other place this year.
correct,
We have
correct,
no
correct.
news. You tell me. So I'll tell you, Kalyan Chobe. So I have seen Kalyan Chobe from close quarters,
Hmm.
considering my contact with the Mohun Bagan executive management. But then again, this guy, I know he won by a freaking 33-1 margin by defeating Bhutia in the
Hmm.
elections. But
Hmm.
that's all there is to him.
Yeah, I
He
think that
got
uh,
involved in elections from a specific party political outfit. He did spend votes on him. This guy has been a total no-brainer from day one, and yet we are stuck with Kalyan Chobe and Indian football is in tatters. No,
all right. I think the tempers are going high out here. So I will
you
probably request Shayok to just cool
suicidal.
down a bit. Right? Yeah, but then yes, I think that uh,
You're a fan of
uh,
Barcelona.
whatever you are saying is correct. Shayok, and I do believe that the Indian Federation is the one to blame in many issues, because the Saudi Arabian club where Cristiano Ronaldo plays, I think
That's it.
they have had the same issue,
Yes.
because they were supposed to play their AFC Champions League 1 match in Iran. I don't know the club, but actually the AFC have actually changed their venue, or probably they have just changed the dates of their match. So the AIFF has to be stronger, and I think I know many fans are with you, Shayok, on this, and I think that Kalyan Chaube has to do more than what he is currently doing as a former footballer, more than anything else. So moving on, Samannay, I know that this can be a controversial question, I think. Uh, why do fans do not like the name ATK Mohun Bagan? Because Mohun Bagan, yes, Mohun Bagan has that legacy, right? But then there have been changes of names. I know that there have been changes in its ownership over the past few years, but then why has it been like that, and why not just keep the name as Mohun Bagan, like the original brand?
I think Shayukda again will answer this well, but then I will speak shortly about this, because see, the thing was with what I feel is personally, when I see something as a fan, it's different. When I come into the professional world, again it's different. So Mohun Bagan with the athletic club, which was the main club, when it like when it joined hands with Sanjeev Goenka's ATK, and firstly it was known as ATK Mohun Bagan. So I think the thing was, when you need to do something well, or when you come into commercialization part of football, so these little steps has to be taken, because majority was the thing was Tutu Boshu used to give funds from his own pocket, and there were not so much of sponsors which Mohun Bagan could draw in, that could give them that huge amount of money which you need to be one of the top teams in ISL, or maybe when you're competing in AFC. So I am again not so much sure about all these things, because at that time I was not so close to this. But then again, what I feel is personally, which you are saying, that fans' emotions come from different things. Like, these are repercussions from fans, because the name doesn't matter. It's Mohun Bagan. It is Mohun Bagan. The culture, everything is same. But this was a kind of troll which used to come from East Bengal, that you are sold, you are like this. So that's why fans were a little concerned, and they were like, why ATK, and why not keep our same names? But again, Shayabda will have a different opinion, I know, about this. I will let him speak about over to Shayabda about this.
Uh, Surely, but then before the next two guests speak again, I just want to remind the viewers to like, subscribe, and share to my videos and my channel. I will be bringing you such guests again and again and again. The motivation that you guys have given me is huge, and I think that we are going to make our videos more refined and better in future. So thank you, and keep watching. So moving on to okay, fine. So basically, what Shayok said, what Chamana said. Shayok, do you have any comments? Make it short.
Shayokda,
Florentine Pogba.
Shayokda, why don't you allow me to take this up? Why? Because if you start speaking on that, there is so much happened. We won't be able to complete in this podcast. So I think let me answer this, because I know
Okay,
what was.
go on. Go on.
because
Go on, Debarshi.
Shayada is representing a different kind of a badge, which is the core ultras of Mohun Bagan. There are few groups who are ultras, but the oldest and the biggest ultra group is Mariners Base Camp, and they have what should I say? I think that did a humongous job in removing the name ATK before Mohun Bagan. Now, why was that problem? The problem is that again we played with McDowell's Mohun Bagan or we played with normal Mohun Bagan. It's fine. The identity it's Mohun Bagan. You can add a sponsor name before that because we are big clubs. We need big money. We need big players. Sponsor will come in. They will add they want to add their name. That's fine. End of discussion. But suddenly, when you add the name of a dead club in front of our club, and they want to cling on to our identity, and then they start saying like Fikru is a legend of Mohun Bagan, like the officials started claiming this kind of bullshit words. That is where we lost ourselves. We have our identity. It doesn't, as Shomana mentioned, our rivals were trying to troll us. That's fine. That's normal. Football banter. But let's keep them aside for a second. They have their own set of identity. They don't care about their identity. So they are confused there. We have our identity. We know we are Mohun Bagan, and suddenly a dead club in front of us, and the officials are claiming that it's a mixture of two things. The greatest Bengal cricketer comes into an advertisement and puts our jersey and their jersey in a washing machine and then pulling out some random jersey. What are you doing? So that is where the fan were flabbergasted. What the hell are you trying to prove? We are Mohun Bagan. If you don't have money, don't play. Stop for 3 years, get some sponsor and play. You play with CSC Mohun Bagan, you play with the current name Mohun Bagan Super Giant, whatever you want to do. But why a dead club in front of our club? That is where the protest was, and we completely stopped like visiting grounds and stopped playing football altogether, stopped watching football altogether. So that is where the protest started, and then people like Shayok, I wouldn't say Shayak was the face because he never wanted to be the face of that movement, but he was pretty in front when that movement was ongoing. And then Mariners Base Camp, and then there are a few ultras group. They all collaborated. Everyone wants their credit. That's a different discussion altogether. But everyone collaborated in removing the name. And finally, in 2022-23 season, when Mohun Bagan won the ISL Cup, management was literally forced to remove that ATK name in front of from the front. And then they saw the revolution because last year when we were playing, our average attendance were 33K, and the semi-finals, the finals, we had 60K, all of us, which is very 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 rare in Indian football. So they saw what we wanted, they removed that, and we are back to normal.
Nice. Shayok, Mariners Base Camp, Mariners Ultras, and all the Mohun Bagan supporting factions, organizations. So my question is that when it comes to the Derby Day, Mohun Bagan East Bengal, I think it goes up there with, in terms of the number of people watching or the number of eyeballs, it goes up with Real Madrid, Barcelona. It goes with Man U, Man City. How do you guys see this match as supporters of Mohun Bagan, and how do you think that all the supporting factions can become like one strong organization in the future to make the club better?
Speaking from the point of view of economics, economic thrives when there is perfectly competitive market. It doesn't thrive in a monopoly. So obviously, your question of all the fan bases uniting in future is not going to happen because competition brings out the best in them. Number one. Number two, coming to your point of how do we, so historically this may be known as a Kolkata derby, but the Indian derby, if you ask me, happens between Mohun Bagan Super Giants and Mumbai City FC. Like the examples that you given, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then Manchester United, Manchester City, and so on. These are the teams of equal standards, equal glories. I'm not denigrating any particular team, but then again, going by the current last 3, 4 years standard, or even before that, I think a match with East Bengal doesn't tantamount to being called a derby in the first place. Uh, First and foremost. Second thing. Third
Okay.
thing, how do we prepare ourselves? So it's not about how we prepare ourselves. It's just like any other match. So in a nutshell, ultras are some people call us the hooligan supporters. We are not. So Indian football galleries, they were so filled of abuses at one point of time, and such really frivolous behavior from many of our fans, including smoking up and stuff on the galleries. We tried to put an end to that. Mariners Base Camp. That was our first thing, first objective back in 2016, 17, or 18. What we did was basically we started with chants, gallery chants. We started with holding out, like displaying T4s, which are big flex, wherein you can see a lot of masters in honor of anything like we did in honor of the Indian Army in the Durand Cup. Or yesterday, we actually gave a tight slap to our arch enemies on the field. But then again, those are the things that we started doing. We started our supporters, like not as in the Mohun Bagan supporters, the base camp people. They stand throughout the match. 90 minutes, they stand, they sing, they play drums. So, as Debarshi was pointed out, when the name ATK was taken off, ATK was a dissolved entity in 2020 that he said about. So, Fiorentin Pogba said, I'm happy to join ATK on live TV, which didn't go down well with us. The third jersey used by ATK Mohun Bagan was a replica of the ATK jersey, third jersey. We have our own heritage, our legacy,
Mm-hmm.
and we intend to keep that intact the way it
Mm-hmm.
is. Now, coming back to the how we do it, celebrate, I would say obviously the largest ultras group, Millionaires Base Camp, followed by a few others. They also do good works at points of times. And together, yesterday when the match was against the arch rivals in the so-called derby, yeah, you could see that. So the official attendance was 59,872 or something like this. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for showing that to me. So the official attendance yesterday was around 7,000 odd. And
Okay.
I think Boston will 60,000 odd. And the best thing was uh, by the last update that I received, that more Bagan tickets were sold out in spite of them being quite costly as per the Indian football standards for more ranged over 500, most of the tickets. So for each individual. So so much of, and I don't know if you can share the screen, or I can share the screen and show you pictures. We actually had smoke bombs lit at the end of the match. It was a heavenly atmosphere out there,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not the
Yes.
first time.
I will be sharing those videos surely. Yeah.
Okay,
Like
so
I when the when the video will be shared online, like I will share all those videos.
I
so
think
that's about it
one
for
thing I just wanted to add a few points because Shayokta is
Yes,
directly part
yes.
of that movement.
Devotion.
I am away from that. I enjoy that movement. I'm not part of it. So
Okay.
when as a fan, I tend to go to every game. Currently, I'm in Kolkata. Even I was in Bangalore for a week, and then at that point only I happened to have Mumbai, Bangalore, and Mohun Bagan playing. So anywhere there is
Right.
Mohun Bagan, I happen to go to a game. So
Right.
when I'm seeing this kind of atmosphere, it really makes you feel like you're part of something very special. So yesterday when we scored our
Absolutely.
second goal after Dimi Petroda scored the penalty, you can see players are getting lighted up, the smoke bombs are getting lighted up, and the entire scenario changes. I'm literally getting goosebumps when I'm trying to explain that, but it's like that. It's so great, so big. Only the person who attends the derby and wins that and be a part of Mohun Bagan fan, crazy fan base, they will understand how it feels. It's something. So there are things you
Wow.
cannot describe. You have
Yeah.
to be
Correct.
at that point of time in your life to know what is happening, to feel what is happening. If you're not
It's more like
feeling
a
that,
feeling, right?
yes, it's a feeling, it's a visual spectacle, because you cannot see photos and videos and describe it. You can see photos of Iceland, it looks mesmerizing, but if you go to Iceland, it will feel like probably Mars maybe. I don't know. I have never been to Iceland. So it's like that. You have to live in that moment to understand the craziness, understand that joy, the passion, and the fun element, which is getting added to the entire prospect.
I think I will
Absolutely,
add just one
absolutely.
line to this, because
Yeah,
just
yeah,
as
Samannay.
Devashita mentioned, that emotion cannot be pictured, or that emotion can't be, like, portrayed through a video. Because just today as well, when two teams are coming onto the pitch and the national anthem is also being played, and in front of all those fans when it is happening, and I am witnessing it so close from the press box. So I have captured the video, I'll put it in my story, people will see, they will love react, obviously. But that emotion, that cannot be, they can't feel that. If you need to feel that, you have to be in that
Absolutely.
place. So I think, yes, I will agree to Devashita's point. So this was the point which was I adding.
Yeah, it's like a feeling, right? Even I have been there, and I know what you guys are trying to say. It's a surreal feeling when you are there in the stadium dancing with all your fellow mates, the supporters, and then see your team winning, especially in the 1 lakh capacity Salt Lake Stadium, right?
Yes.
Guys, who would want to take a question on women's football? Debarshi, Shamanna, Shayak.
This
Yeah, I
is
can answer. I have been like little bit of following recently, because I
Okay,
am working on the sports page. So you can, yeah.
perfect. Looking at the Olympics, I'm not trying to turn our attention towards our national scenario also. If we look at women's football, uh, Olympics is something that brings joy to the whole nation. And women's football, in terms of rankings, are doing much better than the men's, right?
Yes.
Uh, how is Mohun Bagan's focus on women's football? Number one. And how can we make the women's football stronger?
So I think East Bengal has a women's football team, and other than that, Orissa has a women's football team. Gokulam Kerala has. So I think yes, but again, like Mohun Bagan, currently what I have seen is Mohun Bagan's focus is on the male team, and which is the main team which is contesting particularly in ISL. So if you can see, even they don't take that much seriously the Kolkata Football League, which they used to take previously. So now they don't take it. So I think before jumping into the women's football team, which Mohun Bagan can obviously have, I think they have to, consider like Kolkata Football League, and they have to first restructure the young men's football team. I think if they do that, then only I think they can think again of a women's football team. Because I think currently, if their only focus is on the male football team which is contesting in ISL, so if they want to shift their focus to the women's football team, I think they need to work on other areas as well. So,
Okay.
and again, like, yeah, definitely they can, they should, because women's football recently has grown up. The women's are doing well. Recently, I have been following the SAP, the SAP, SAP under SAP Women's Championship is happening right now, and SAP Under 17 also was happening. I think India performed well. They went to the finals. I think they won the final. Mostly they were runners. Not I don't remember right now, but yes, obviously that women's football team is doing great, and I think some players from Odisha FC women's team are in the national team. Even like quite the football landscape in the women's atmosphere is growing. So obviously Mohun Bagan can jump in, and they can make one team. And Indian Women's League is also happening in India, so they can field a team there. But then again, what I feel according to me is, first they should focus on other areas which are the taking up the youth football team considering, and then maybe they can jump into the women's team. I think
Okay.
I
Great.
will hand over to other panelists as well.
Great. If we look at the Indian men's under 23 team, and if we look at the Olympics, I'm focusing on the Olympics also because if you want to bring in the focus of India as a nation, of course there are pockets which in which football is madly followed and played. But if we want to bring in football as a Indian sport again, where all the states are following it properly, I think we need to do well at the Asian Games level and at the Olympics level, where the under 23 team plays. So, Deborshi, I heard and I saw that AIFF is not supporting the under 23 team as they should. They are not having those foreign exposure tours for the under 23 team, which it requires, because the at the end of the day, under 19 and under 23 teams are the ones which will make the national team stronger, right?
True.
How do you see the whole scenario related to the youth teams for India, and how do you want to see it blossom or bloom in future?
So again, the problem is at the very core. Suddenly, if we just take our under 23 team and ask them to perform at the highest order, it's just asking a duck to lay a golden egg
Absolutely.
unless you're part of a story, right? Part of a sci-fi story. If you look at the under 23 team, like we have players who are playing senior level football. We have Prabshukan Gill. In defender, we have Horbipam Ruiva. You have Narendra Gehlot. Abhishek Suryavanshi plays for Mohun Bagan. Mark Zotanpuya plays for East Bengal. Uh, Gurkirat Singh is there. PV Vishnu is there. Parthiv Gogoi. Players are there. Big names are there. It's not like that there are no names, but it's just names. Again, going
Hmm.
back to my previous point that I mentioned, can we fit them into a prime European squad? Let's not take big names. Can we fit them to a Lazio squad? Can we fit them into a Marseille squad? Maybe Marseille, again, it's a very big team. Uh, can we even fit them in a Sporting CP, Sporting Lisbon? No. Any Swiss team, Polish team, can we do that? No, impossible. Why? Because when they reach a certain level, and that is the level of Indian national level football, that is way below compared to any European level football. And why is that? Again, because they were not scouted at 5 years old as very good footballers. They were scouted at probably 17 years old or 18 years old or maybe 14 years old. Today, we see there are under 13 teams, under 15 teams, under 19 teams. So there is a hope. I'm not saying that. I just don't want to rant on that. On the positive
Hmm.
side, there's a hope. There are under 13s team, because just saw recently there was the under 13 derby that happened Mohun Bagan like 3-4 months back. So there are
Hmm.
football that is happening. So if a 13-year-old player shows class, maybe that player can be a very good player when he's 17, when he's 18, and then so on. But
Hmm.
someone should be there who should guide him and help him understand, okay, this is what you need to improve on, this is how you need to play, so that you become the best of the best that is possible. And if you don't become one of them, this is your second career path, so that his only focus is in football for the next 10 years. If no, then it's no. If yes, then he becomes the next best thing. Probably that is the small missing link which is turning out to a very big problem. And not me, because I'm not that person, but someone should come in and fill in that gap. That's what I.
Absolutely. I think very nicely put. I think all of your views is so refined because you guys are associated with Indian football, and I think that the viewers will really like it. Shayuk, where do you see where do you see Mohun Bagan team going in the next 10 years? Or where do you all guys want to see your and our Mohun Bagan team in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, where do we want to see Mohun Bagan in the next 5 to 10 years? Regular participant in the ACL one first year. Uh, CFL, as I would disagree with what Samannay said. CFL Mohun Bagan does take seriously, but for the junior players to build its reserve bench. which has been building for the past 2 years. Apart from the fact that CFL is a very common tournament, the champion team plays with the team which places first match frequently 6. Those things happen. But then again, see, it's not about only Mohun Bagan. The problem is today we were talking about, I guess Debarshi was talking about players finding a place in Marseille or in any other teams. Now, my question, to be very honest, two things basically. First, are they fit enough to play English third division teams
Mhm.
like EPL third division teams? That's number one. And number two, if they're that good, or if they're not getting an opportunity right now, like I guess Gurpreet played for Stabæk and Baichung played for that Indonesian team.
Bari FC,
Yeah, but no,
right?
he played for Bari
Bari.
FC in English third division and
Yeah,
Perak FC in the Malaysian league. Uh,
yeah.
Sunil Shetty was team was in the Kansas City team, I
Spoken.
guess, in the
Yeah,
MLS. But
Kansas City.
my guess, Kansas City, yes, in the MLS. Sorry for the pronunciation. I'm not in US, as you know. Uh, thing is, uh, thing is, honestly speaking, well, these are 3, 4 players, right? And ages back, Sunil Goswami once had an offer from Tottenham for a blank check. Ages back. But then again, do we have such players, or at least like 11 such players to be placed on a field? We don't. Can they beat Bangladesh on a match? India has a problem beating Bangladesh. India has no consistency. First it draws with Qatar, then it goes down against very easy teams. Like in Vietnam, that was a 1-1 draw. Vietnam is not a
But
team,
then,
or they didn't play. So, see, going by the way Mohun Bagan has
but then
played the last 2
Shayak,
matches, if
Shayak,
I put that team against Vietnam, Vietnam will get dropped by 5 goals.
but then
What
Shayak,
is what stopped India from doing that? Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
think that
My,
like you mentioned right, but the refereeing in the Qatar India World Cup qualifier was dismal. In
because it's a,
India could have gone through to the next round of the World Cup qualifiers, and that might have rejected the Indian football again, because to reach at that level of World Cup qualifiers. So I think that there are a combination of factors, right?
I do understand that the ball was taken from outside the lines and then the goal was scored in the Qatar match that you were referring to. My question is, why are we sticking to that point? Why did not we create more chances to convert and score more
Hmm.
goals so that that
Hmm.
could have been an inconsequential thing in the first place?
Hmm.
Why we can't spend that much on sports development and infra? Why
Hmm.
are we caught squabbles all the time? Like, see, players, as Devoshi rightly pointed out, players should normally be scouted at the age of 5 or 6 in the nursery league, in the baby leagues. The IFM does have a nursery baby league, but I guess it's of no use. And you see the way the players are nurtured, actually. If you remember, the Indian under 17 team which played in the 2017 under 17 World Cup, before the World Cup, they had gone on to defeat Argentina, coached
Hmm.
by Diego Simeone at that point of time.
Hmm.
Honestly speaking, and the goal that was scored in that match, which won India the match, was done by one Anwar Ali,
Yeah.
quite popular these days among the Calcutta football fans, or unpopular, going by the team support. Thing is, what
So
happened to the
where do
players on the team? What happened to
so
Komal Qatar?
where do you want to see like Mohun Bagan in the next 5-10 years?
In the next 15 years, obviously, I want to see it compete for the Club World Cup. Yes, I do want it there. Like as I said, as you when you read my bio or my dossier at the beginning of this podcast, you said if Arsenal will come a close second. Yes, I love Arsenal for the type of football. I was a fan of the Invincibles back in the day. But even to this day, I am not particularly happy when they lost to Bournemouth yesterday by a 2 goal margin. But thing is, I don't have to support any team in the British League or in the La Liga, right? You don't have to support Barcelona if you have a homegrown Mohun Bagan representing India up there with the greats of football, right?
Absolutely.
That's where I
Absolutely.
want to be.
Right.
So we Indians have this thing of supporting teams in the PL or in the La Liga. You ask any Manchester United fan or a Chelsea fan
Absolutely.
as well,
And I think
will they
that
say,
it's
okay,
a
this is my favorite team and my second favorite team is this. They
of
don't have a
course,
second
of
favorite
course.
team.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that, and it becomes a responsibility of Reliance also. I think because they are now basically the godfathers of the
Yeah, they
Indian
are
football.
destroying Indian football, to be truth. If the truth be told, they're destroying Indian football. Reliance Football Development Field Limited, which RFDL, which controls the IMG Reliance thing, right? Or the other way down, IMG Reliance controls RFDL, which basically takes care of the football in India on behalf of the AIFF, which is completely destroying Indian football bit by bit, point by point.
Hmm.
You tell me something. You tell me something. Why do we play only 26 matches a year? Why do just ISL and Super Cup and all those things? Our players should play at least 47 matches to get up to the
Hmm.
world standards of caliber and talents and agility and obviously holding on to the ball.
Hmm. Correct,
We play
correct.
so less matches. We don't have the proper infrastructures in place. When we were talking about the stadiums as Samannay was, we do have the Yuva Bharati Priyanka, the Salt Lake Stadium. We have the wonderful DY Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai. Okay, who's okay? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So we I felt like the Bidhan Nagar police was chasing us. So, anyways, thing is, how many such good stadiums are there? We have the Kantirava, wonderful stadium. I have been there in these lower view stands at Mohun Bagan at the matches. Kantirava is a wonderful stadium. Kantirava's maximum occupancy is 22,000. DY Patil
Mhm.
is, I guess, 30,000. Salt Lake Stadium right now it has been reduced to
I
64,000.
think the
Just
I think the stadium that is at Goa is also good. Like I visited the stadium in Goa. I think the
yes,
facilities there is also quite good.
but then if you want to have a continental level tournament like under 7 2000 under 7 was a continental level thing. But for that, if you remember, guys, the stadium was closed off to normal matches for 2 long years. We has to
Mhm.
play under substandard tight seat of Barashat at that point of
Yep.
time. Where, so thing is, we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the intent. Now, Mohun Bagan, thanks to Dr. Sanjeev Goenka, he's obviously a wonderful person when it comes to building our team. I understand that there was a lot of furor regarding the ATK thing, which I was a part of. Again, removal of ATK. I was a part of this. Even every single person out here was a part of that. But then again, Mohun Bagan Super Giants can actually go on to go greater heights, win great things. Yeah, the challenge, there are lacunas, there are challenges we should
Yep.
get
I think
to
that
it.
yeah, let's yeah, I think that we know the problems now for sure, guys. What are your favorite moments from any of the Mohun Bagan matches? So I will begin one by one. So Manna, what's your favorite memory so far?
Favorite memory, if you say, I will say that my recent the derby which happened recently, because as a fan I have been in the stadium not much, but not many times, but again mostly derby I have been only once in the stadium, and it was a draw 1-1. Uh, it was way back when I was in class 10. After that, I have not been there in the derby as a fan, but again I got the opportunity as a media member to be there, and it was a great memory for me that day, because I took bite from Deboshida as well. I took bites of many Mohun Bagan fans, although I tried to speak to East Bengal fans before the match, but none of them, like, not tried many fans, but again I approached 2 3 fans, but they were not willing to speak much. And like as Shayada was mentioning, that right now, considering East Bengal's strength on the field, they are, I think, one of the reason why the fans were not speaking, because from the heart they knew that the outcome of the match was already decided before the match
Yeah.
started. But again, that always there is a proverb that derbies are 50-50. But I think yeah, derbies are 50-50, but considering right now the situation is, obviously Mohun Bagan had an advantage, and also Mohun Bagan won. That was the biggest memory. And I was in the press box. I was like, although I couldn't express that kind of happiness in the press box because there were obviously people from East Bengal and people from Mohammed and many other journalists were there. So when you are representing you yourself as a journalist there, you
Shaman,
can't, share that emotion. But again, yes, that was,
Shaman,
I will say that, yeah.
Shaman, what's your favorite fanboy moment?
My favorite fanboy moment, which I can say, is that once I went, I think in the Mohun Bagan match, that was I think not AFC Cup match, which I think Shayakda was also there with me. Me, Shayakda, and a little three to four people were also there. I think then also that match Mohun Bagan won, and I was celebrating with my friends. I think that was one. And other than that, if you say that all the derbies, all the recent derbies, though I have been not on the field, but I also made one podcast. I have my YouTube channel, small YouTube channel,
Oh,
not so
nice.
much active. So
Okay.
I also made a little not podcast,
Great, great.
little bit of it was a kind of post match reaction how we friends celebrated. So that was again. So
Guys,
all the Mohanbagan and East Bengal derbies you can say are the like
all the
moments.
viewers, all the viewers, please check out Shamanai's channel. I will have his channel's link uh, with this video, and then he is actually up and coming journalist. He's with Kale now, and he will be I think bringing in more of his views on football, right?
Sure.
Thank you, Shamana. So moving on to Deborshi. Deborshi, what's your favorite moment, and then what's your fanboy moment? Whether it is similar to your favorite moment, or like you have got like two separate fanboy and your favorite moment.
Being fanboy is different. Being having a favorite moment is different. So from the
Yep.
time when I started understanding football, like deep-rooted understanding, Mohun Bagan never used to win anything. So it was a long wait of I started, and it was a wait I started with everyone for 5 years. I think we started from 2008 onwards. 2008 was the last time we won CFL. Before that, there were no national success. I think we had a Fed Cup before that. No idea when was the year. Uh, then we waited till 2013, 14, 14, 15 season, I guess. Yes, 14, 15 season. So I was in college at that point of time. And for the first time, I saw Mohun Bagan coming back from one goal down. We scored a header at the 86th minute, if I'm not wrong. Belorazak scored a header. We were in a place called it's near Shohabajar Rajbari. It's in North Kolkata,
Okay.
and there were like
Okay.
screening ongoing. So all the very very tensed and very agonized Mohun Bagan fans were there, around 200 of us. And then I remember Bilal Razak. So again, I'm getting like dangerous goosebumps when I always see this story. Um, Bilal Razak puts in a header. I see the ball goes in, and then everything was black for me for a moment because I can see when 200 people around you feeling the same agony, same pain, and suddenly the burst of joy comes in. You cannot hold your tears.
Hmm.
It's like everything for you. The next day, I had some exam in college, but who cares? At that point, I think you got the world because that is what you wanted. So I think there was a senior guy like Shayak. His name is I think Hashianti Rahman. He's one of again.
Hashianti Rahman, yeah.
Yes. I remember I was hugging him, his huge belly, and then I was crying. That is the thing I remember for the next 3 4 minutes. And then I remember there was a final whistle, and then we are champions. I never felt before that how do you feel when you become a champion? Because in
Hmm.
international football, I don't support any team that much. I'm a fan of Barcelona because Messi plays there. Now Messi doesn't play, so I don't follow Barcelona that much because international football it tends to change for me. Only one club that
Yeah.
I follow, that is Mohun Bagan, and that is the first time I see my club lifting the greatest possible trophy in Indian football. So that was
Nice.
that was a huge statement for me. That would be the best moment. Still being a Mohun Bagan fan, and fanboy moment was kind of a weird interaction, I would say, because I tore my ligament like ACL in 2016, and at
Okay.
that time, Dihaya Miranda Garcia was the physical trainer of Mohun Bagan. So he actually was a student or should I say follower of Mother Teresa. So in the morning, he obviously was in the club taking care of the players, but in the evening, he used to take care of the players who are less fortunate basically. And he used to
Okay.
connect them with doctors because you obviously need surgery. What are the trainings that you need to do to
Yeah.
recover and all those things. So I went to him and I came to know about that. I went to him and then he was helping me recover. So I had my surgery. He was helping me recover from that point. And one day, so he called me in the morning. So that was off season. He called me in the morning that there are a few more things I need to do because I'm gradually going into the strengthening phase. When I was there, I saw Katsumi Yusa, Narayan Das, I think no, not Surkumar, sorry. Who was the left back Shayada for us in 2014-15 season?
14-15 left back. Dhanachandra
Eh,
Singh.
Dhanachandra Singh, yes. Dhanachandra Singh was there. And I was like flabbergasted. Okay. These are the exact heroes like I look up to every day. And then you see Katsumi Yusa and then you see Dhanachandra Singh we just won the I League. So they were doing their training. And so at that point, I don't know how to react. I controlled myself obviously. But the entire fun part was the entire 30-minute warm up, I did it with them. So it was like a
Oh,
very
nice.
mind-boggling
Nice.
experience, I would say, at that point of time, and it was fun. So
Pretty
that
good.
would be my fanboy moment for with Mohun Bagan. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Shayok, same questions for you. What has been, of course, there would be many moments for you, but then what is that one favorite moment of all time, and what is your fanboy moment?
I have two favorite moments and one fanboy moment to share. Regarding the
Okay.
favorite moments, यहाँ पे जो दर्शक देख रहे हैं और देखने वाले हैं सभी के लिए मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि मेरा जो तो फेवरेट मोमेंट्स है उसमें आप सरदार पवनदीप सिंह मतारू भी शामिल हो. First was the
Thank you.
stand due to the Salt Lake Stadium. Mohun Bagan had not won a game against East Bengal for around 5 consecutive times. And then on the 86th minute, we started seeing a run by playing a ball between Pankaj Mola and Katsumi Yusa.
You,
I
sir.
remember, yeah, you were sitting just beside me, gorging on those ground nuts that I had
Badam.
purchased for you.
Badam.
Yeah, yes, yes. And though their skins around my leg, but then again around my feet. But then Katsumi Yusa ran the length and breadth of the field and then scored by fooling Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, who was a East Bengal goalkeeper at that point of time. We won. That is the first favorite moment. और दूसरा फेवरेट
Thank
मोमेंट
you.
है उसमें भी आप थे 14-15 का आई लीग का चैंपियनशिप फाइनल मैच बैंगलोर में
Final match. Yeah.
जब बेलून डेजर्ट में गोल किया था. So Debarshi was talking about Shahbaz and not only where the screening was held, yes. And I think you must have rubbed your face against somebody else because Ashida was definitely didn't have a big belly. I can assure you that. He was one of the most handsome guys I came across. Uh, thing is, I was watching this match at this pub called Wrong Place in Calcutta with Mr.
Yeah.
Pavandeep Singh Mahato beside me.
Oh
Or
my God.
2 minutes he kept on egging me on saying that अरे मोहन बागान अरे गोल हो जाएगा मोहन बागान जीत जाएगा तो चिंता मत कर. And there were a lot of other fans wearing Bangalore FC merchandise. What I realized was after the goal happened and we knew that we are going to win, he opened their Bangalore FC merchandise and out came the red and gold shirts underneath. So you can understand which teams they were really from. But yes, those were my two favorite moments, which I thankfully had the fortune of spending with Pavandeep out here.
Thank you.
The
Thank you.
fanboy moments. The fanboy moment is also a bit of a, how do I put this? So I had the fanboy moment would be like I had several with several players. Uh, so then I had gone to this place. So my favorite player all time has been. People will actually snigger a bit because he has got most of his fame from playing for my arch rivals. He's Mr. Mehtab Hussain. He
Okay.
was one of the most legendary level defensive midfielders. He's the Indian Gennaro Gattuso.
Mhm.
Only that, thanks to the referee help of the wonderful refereeing that happens in India, he got two in many occasions against Mohun Bagan itself. I met him at a petrol pump. I remember. I saw that the car was standing right in the queue for a long time and he couldn't punch it through a card. And I went up to him and barked him. I said, what are you at? Why are you taking so much time? And he moved and he said, I'm really sorry, don't mind. So I was a bit stunned because growing up, Mehta was an influence for many young Mohun Baganis at that point of time. He was our captain when it was being coached by Jahar Das. I remember that game. We played with 8 supers on the field. So,
Mm,
a very big defensive formation, parking the bus entirely. Chelsea again, right? That connection. So, thing is,
of
yeah,
course.
those were the moments and those were the favorite moments. But then again, I would like to tell this to the viewers. One day, Mohun Bagan had won, and I had gone to Mr. Pawandip's place. He used to stay in Hajra, and he was not at home. I remember meeting his father. Uncle is one of the most jovial, loving persons that I had the fortune of meeting, and he took me by the hand and he hugged me and said, "अरे तो आज क्या मिठाई खिलाना चाहोगे तुम?" I remember that moment. Thank you, Pawandeep, for being a friend beyond anything else. And
Thank you.
आप
Thank
basic
you,
scientist
Shayak.
बन पर बस एक ही यार सबको ये बताना चाहूंगा कि ये लकी टैलिस्मैन है मोहन बागान का जितना मैच देखने के लिए गया है मोहन बागान कभी हारा नहीं हाँ मेरा पॉकेट जरूर हल्का हुआ है feeding him the badams and stuff but yes we never lost a match with him in this gallery thanks for once again
I think, Pawandip,
Thanks.
this podcast or this get together should be a statement that you should come back to Kolkata as soon as possible and join us in a football match.
I will. I will surely. I think we lost Shayak. Yeah, but I think whenever I am back in India, probably next year for sure, I will be surely meeting all of you guys. Probably we can do like we are meeting right now on Zoom or Teams, whatever. I think that we can all meet there and then probably make some video.
Of
And
course,
I
I'm
think
down.
Definitely.
yeah, I think that firstly, thank you guys for being here with me, sharing all your views. Those were great because I I actually wanted to share the Mohun Bagan story with all the viewers. I want to make this bigger. I'm sure that the viewers will like what you all had to say. I'm sure that there are many more things that you want to say, and then there are many more things that I want to ask you guys. And yes, Ayo.
just wanted to finish with a line
Yeah.
let's all believe in yoga bonito no
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm an Argentina supporter first and foremost I must clarify this on live TV. I'm an Argentine supporter, but let's all believe in the beautiful game. That's the beauty of life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the major aims of me bringing in Indian football and especially Mohun Bagan football is not because I am also a supporter of Mohun Bagan, but I am also an Indian and I want to actually bring Mohun Bagan more towards having that club as a national club because many people know it and many people don't know it. So I think that we can make more such future videos on Mohun Bagan and the Indian football and how to make it better and how to get it going again to like a higher stature. So थैंक यू व्यूअर्स आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका अपना देसी साइंटिस्ट शायक थैंक यू फॉर seeing the videos thank you for supporting me I will try to make the content better over the coming few weeks and months and just share like and subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell icon Desi Scientist Vlogs. I will bring you more such interesting guests and stories. So thank you for watching. Thank you guys. See you again.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank
us.
you.
You're most
Bye bye.
welcome. You're more than
Okay.
Enjoy.